By the way, babe, it doesn't show that you're in roll 20 yet. Are you able to get logged in?
Yeah, I'm in roll 20 right now. I'm looking at the map and everything.
Oh, weird.
I don't see them there either.
Yeah, I have, like, my character pulled up and everything.
Strange. Odd. Confusing.
Yeah, it doesn't show that you're in there.
Hold on.
Does it have like a red bar across the top of it?
No. I'll just reload it.
Oh. I'm out of ideas then.
Hi, cat. Words that mean things. Sorry, I am very, not here right now. I do apologize.
Ew.
What?
Dr. Pepper's bringing out a new limited time coconut flavor.
For Dr. Pepper?
Ugh.
No. Like, I like coconut, but for Dr. Pepper, no.
Sorry, creamy coconut is what it's called. You know why? Because they'll be playing off the whole dirty soda thing, which is really big right now, and a lot of them will use coconut cream.
Oh, that explains, like, Coca-Cola making, like, spiced. Coca-Cola spiced.
Yeah, that one's not a good one.
Yeah.
It's just raspberry. There's no spices in there. It is white boy spice.
You're not wrong. That is white boy spice.
What's white boy spice?
Coke spiced.
Oh, yeah, I tried that when I was over at Bailey's house the other day.
It's okay, like, it's good, but don't call it spice.
Yeah, I was on the vote where it was like, well, I liked it, but I'm not going to get it again.
Mm.
I didn't regret the time I spent drinking it. Did Brock put all the gold in the bag of holding?
What he kept, I'm pretty sure. And did you put the gold you kept in the on bag of holding?
I forget where it's, like, where it tells you your amount of gold is, because I never look at it.
It's on top of your inventory.
So I don't see it in the list on the bag of holding.
Cool, I got, like,
You might
2
not have
gold
edited
pieces.
it yet. Because a lot of it's in the bank, but then he kept some of it.
I thought we just put the gems in the bank.
Oh. Maybe. Yeah, that sounds about right, actually.
I apologize, guys. I am not here.
Do you want to give the game a miss this week?
I
Are you feeling okay?
I'm feeling fine. It's just more of like
You're
brain
distracted
fog.
by the Pokemon thing.
Do you need coffee?
It's trying to set up Pokemon and my mind's just not D&Ding, because like I don't know how to start. If that makes sense.
When we last left off,
When we last left off, you all went to a bank and gave devils money.
And
Yes.
and the little gome-looking thing called me toots.
and
He's an imp. Thank you
Imp
very
called-
much.
Called me toots.
Yeah, you thought.
Yep. and we brought Triss's brother's old armor, which is going to not totally bite us in the butt later.
I don't know what you're talking about.
And what else did we do? We had a jewelry episode where we exchanged the gems, and Moira wanted a ring, and Perky said he'd come back for it. Ubi said he'd come back for it, and then Triss gave her wedding ring to the jeweler to turn into jewelry thread for Ginkgo. I was going to say tree. What else did we do?
Went looking for my armor. They said it would take about a month.
Mm-hmm.
Decided
Triss
what we're gonna do.
contemplated selling her soul so that we didn't have to pay fees at the bank. Then we decided that Obi was going to make the armor. We had to... There was an issue with the hand regeneration thing. Like a stall in it. And then...
I think
We
they
went
said
to
that
see
they
if
would
we could-
remake it.
they were
She was
going to
able
do...
make it.
They could do the spell, it would just be expensive. I think that's what they said. And then the ring person to find the ring of regeneration was like, it's going to take me a while, but I'll keep you in mind if I do come across one. And that's what you missed last time on D&D.
The Adventures of How Much Can We Fuck This Up.
Yep.
It's a work in progress.
It is a work in progress.
But anyway, today, well, actually, it's still yesterday. Same shopping day.
I
I don't think we went back to go to sleep.
don't think you did.
So then, where can we go to talk to somebody about a cart?
I mean, generally cart, what are they called? Wagon rights. Generally, wagon rights would be found either just inside or just outside of the gate, because that's where the most travel would be. You would probably be able to find a couple of them, depending on where you go in the city.
Okay. Is there a way to ask somebody who they would recommend for a custom cart?
I mean,
Can I roll something?
yeah, sure. Roll me an investigation. And who are you just asking whoever, or are you like trying to find someone in particular?
I mean, I want to find maybe somebody with a cart, so I can be like, "Hey, that's a good-looking cart."
Yeah, there's a couple.
I don't do
you're,
good
you're in a-
investigation.
You are in a giant city. There are people with carts everywhere.
Does anybody have better than a -1 in investigation and want to either assist or take over?
I have a 3.
And what did you say again?
I have a negative investigation.
Investigation. I just have +1.
Cool.
Better
I'll do
than
it.
a
I have
minus.
3.
Good idea.
All right, with a 17, just asking around on the street, they look over at you and say, depends on what you're looking for. If you're looking for a just traveling merchant's cart, you just anywhere you want to go. If you're looking for something more high class, something more like a covered carriage for nobility, you'll probably want to go near the Shard of Night area, near the Tower District.
What we're looking for is kind of like a Vardo with like bunk / somewhat living storage area. Nothing too fancy, but something that we could stay in, weather permitting, or if the weather was bad.
I'm sorry, I don't know what this term is. Vardo.
Caravan, like a, not really a covered wagon, but like just kind of like a carriage and a covered wagon had a baby with like bedding on the inside.
Sounds like you're talking about a house on wheels.
Kind of, but not as fancy. It's more of a, oh, it's raining outside, we can all bunk down in the wagon kind of thing. It's not as intricate as a house.
I'll be honest, ma'am. Most people just take tents with them. If you're looking for something that fancy, you definitely want to go to the wagon right near the Shard of Night's gate. That'd probably be best for your wanting.
All right. Thank you. The Shard of what?
Shard of Night.
North, south, east, or west on the map?
North. North. East.
Ish, yeah.
It is so. Blue Lake is like the new money district. Shard of Night is like the old money district.
Oh, okay. We're gonna take one look at us and be like, see ya. Where in the Shard of Night district?
Near the gate.
Near the gate. Let's go, friends. Like here?
Yeah, right spouts.
Can someone make an X, please? I don't know how to do that. Thank you.
I, however, don't know how to name it.
Oh,
Who was naming them before?
that might have been Brock.
Yeah, I think it was Brock.
Ah, I see.
Do you know how to do that, babe?
Oh, I see the
We don't
combo.
actually know what. We don't even know what they're called. So, what is the name of the shop?
Give me a second while I random generate name. We'll call it Nighttime Nomads.
Okay.
Spell with a K or just spell with an N?
And
Ooh, dang it. K's fancy.
yeah, but that's also like a knight in shining armor, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, but you never know. Some people like to make it funny.
That is
Exactly.
true. Some people like making funny.
Okay. Is it like an inside shop, or is it like a shop with like a stables where like there's like an outside workspace area? Is there anybody around?
So what you see upon pulling up is what originally looks like it might have been a stable at one point in
Mhm.
time, but most of the stable over top of the stable has been rebuilt over with like what you're assuming is probably a living quarters, and the original
Mhm.
living quarters has just been absolutely renovated to a big workshop. Outside of the stables is very. Die quieter, please.
Sorry. Good.
Choking is my job usually.
I don't know what the fuck that was about. Someone just overcame me. What inside is?
I don't even remember where I
I don't
was
know what
with
you
that.
said. I think you said inside is the shop. I don't know.
Inside the shop,
Mm-hmm.
once you go in, it smells of sawdust. It smells of grease. It smells of all sorts of various things, and you see it is very open floor. You're able to see everything that's going on. A lot of various work hands are bustling about, and one of them stops and comes up to you and says, sorry, how can I help you?
Hi.
Do you have an appointment?
Oh no, are we supposed to make an appointment? Can we make an appointment if that's the case?
Yes, you can make an appointment. Just come this way, and they're going to take you over to looks to be a little area just off the side of the entrance where there's like a desk. That's it,
Mhm.
just a desk sitting there. And they start rifling through some books and papers and such. Sorry, most people send a message spell to
Oh,
get our attention.
sorry.
You're fine. You're fine.
We needed
All
help.
right. So, let's see here. What are you in the market for? Are you in the market for a? First off, I should probably say, which noble house do you associate with?
House Ravenellis.
They start going through books of heraldry.
I don't know if it's gonna be in there.
Would it be? This is a
have
little bit of
no
world
idea.
building. Do you think that Triss's house would be well enough known in human areas to have
If they
a
are,
heraldry?
probably not well. Now that I really think about it, they are a
Yeah.
war house, and they don't like humans.
They start flipping through the book, trying to find your heraldry, and nothing.
Yeah. Do we have to be a part of a house to shop here? Like a house that you know?
Well, no, it's just generally that when we are making carriages, we get the heraldry and put it on there. If you're able to spend the money for it, however, we can still make a carriage. We just tend to cater to a more noble clientele.
That's fair. I mean, I don't really even know if you can help us with what we are in the market for. It's just you can highly recommended.
Of course we do. What do you need?
So, and I don't even, like I said, I don't know if this can be done. We're looking for. Have you heard of a bardo?
They start going through various books, and eventually they do come across what you see is like a blueprint schematic of what is a Vardo. However, on the paper it is spelled slightly wrong. It is not Vardo, it's Varbo. And it looks to be like blueprint on schematics of like how to do an oven inside of a wagon without it being the wagon, how to maximize space, all sorts of stuff like that. They flip the book around and like push it towards you. Is this what you're looking for?
Kind of. So basically, it was kind of like the easiest way that I have to explain it. But we're an adventuring party. We're looking for something that obviously we're out adventuring 90% of the time. So we kind of need something that can protect us from the elements, especially at nighttime. We're looking for something with a bunch of bunks. Let me pull back up Discord so that I can read.
You're fine.
Bunk bed living quarters, where we can also just kind of push, like flip the beds up to create space inside. Some secret storage areas, reinforcement, maybe some wards, depending on what that's going to cost and if you can do that or if we need to take that elsewhere. So it's somewhere where we can store our things, but also sleep the night if we want to. I mean, a stove would be pretty sick, but it's not a necessity. Does that make sense? I'm sorry, this isn't my job, so I'm used to sleeping in tents, but in houses. But
you're fine.
Is that helping you at all?
So from the sounds of it, you're wanting a caravan? Most Vardos don't tend to hold all of that.
Okay, yeah. What can you show me a blueprint of a caravan?
They just start flipping to other versions of Vardos that like
Mm-hmm.
specialized. So the one they originally showed you was a single person's Vardo, where it's a bunk, it's a stove, it's a little living area, and that's about it. And then you flip to the next one, and it's just a wagon with nothing but bunks. Flip to the next one, it's a wagon with a full-on kitchen, like everything you could think of in a kitchen, but that's it. Flip to the next one, and it's more of like a sitting room, and like they even have a drawing of a older lady with a tea set in front of her and what looks to be like a book opened up as like a sort of scale. And like they continue going through these things, and you get the feeling that a caravan isn't a wagon, it's a series of wagons.
So how many of us are there? There's 6 in the party, right?
There are 6 in the party.
And Moira.
Plus then Moira.
And Moira.
So there's 7 of us. However, of the 7 of us, we do travel with 2 married couples. I know it's not something that we discuss, but I mean, if we could have like a couple like double bed options, or like the benches could fold out so that they're not sleeping in separate bunks, that would be nice, but not necessary. We don't really need a stove. I don't have the drawing on me, but I know that Ava's done a drawing. So can we just say that Ginkgo's done it, and I can just show them that? Even though I don't have it on me. Like, Kaylin doesn't have it on her, but...
I think Teresa is also back at home, so she doesn't have it.
Exactly. But kind of like pretend that I have that picture that Tree has to show them.
All right.
Show him, her, whoever this person is.
Her.
Her.
I did not describe them. You see before you what looks to be a just... The best way I can describe her is the most plain Jane human woman that you could possibly think of. Brown hair,
I love
brown eyes, brown dull dress. Like she looks so NPC that if she hadn't talked to you, you wouldn't have noticed her.
No. I would have. That's me.
Sometimes there are people like that in the game. They're just unimportant faces. They're important
No.
to someone. Anyway, Miss Jane Doe, that is her name. She kind of like gives you various, like, she writes down various things about what you want. And she, so you're wanting this all in one cart? One wagon?
That was the plan. Like, if we could, like, fold the beds up, or even just, like, hammocks, even. Like, we'd rather not have hammocks, but if we need that, then... Okay, what... Say we were to split it up into at least 2 different wagons.
Okay.
What is the situation pulling wise? Like, do they hook onto each other? Would they need to be pulled by 2 separate teams?
You would want them pulled by 2 separate teams.
Okay.
Lothar was training me in his land vehicles, so I could possibly drive the other one.
Well, we would need to discuss it with the rest of our party. We're not all here. Is it possible to put it in the one?
Not really. Unless you are wanting to do something, like get it pulled by something bigger than a horse. Even the strongest of draft horses are gonna have some trouble with pulling something so grand. And we do make things for nobles, and they are very much the kind that want grand. And you see her look over to the side. There's like a very opulent cart, and like there is gold plating and such on it. And Obi, you would know gold is heavy. Gold is very heavy.
So what pulls that kind of thing?
An elephant?
That's why we have the term worth its weight in gold.
Yeah. Like the various materials that are going into this, and just how opulent and over the top, and like they're putting all the bells and whistles. It is less a purposeful cart and more of a haha, look at my wealth showpiece. I am greater than all you poor peasants kind of cart. Yeah, something like that. That would either have to be magically propelled, or it would have to be pulled by something bigger than a horse.
Okay. Yeah, I'm putting this in the general so that Tree and Brock can also see it, even though they're... Because it's kind of a conversation for everybody.
Yeah.
These 2 carts, if it was all in one, it would need to be magically propelled or pulled by something stronger than draft horses. Right?
Yeah.
Are oxes stronger than horses?
Oxes are stronger than horses, but something like that, a noble would not want an ox to pull. Something
Why does that not drag me?
I'm talking about in terms of us. I think we could care less if it looked grandiose. Plus, I mean, come on, oxes are kind of cute.
Meow.
Okay. Well, we need to make an appointment anyway, right?
Yes.
So we have time to discuss this with the rest of our party and get back to you. Or do we need to have like a more solid idea coming into the appointment?
So, with the appointment, you'd be speaking with the one of the wagon masters.
Mm-hmm.
She points out one of them who seems to be like overseeing the building of one of the wagons. Like you actually see him pull out various tools and like make sure everything is up to snuff. She turns back and says, in terms of you don't need. So you don't need a. I am out of character blanking. You don't need an appointment to order a wagon from us.
Mm-hmm.
It's if you want a custom piece, which is why I was expecting you to have an appointment, because most people, nobles, want custom pieces here.
Wouldn't what we want be considered custom?
It would be, yes, dear.
Okay.
Things in this
So-
book, and she
Mhm.
lets you, like, if you want to flip through the book, if any of you are flipping through the book, any of these we can just, you put in an order, and that's it. We'll get it back
Mhm.
to you when we can. But what you're wanting is a custom piece.
So what did you say they had by way of bunks?
So in the like, these are what you have. Like, we can
Mhm,
do
mhm.
without an appointment sort of thing.
Mhm.
They have single person Bardos, which is like,
Yeah.
I think of it like a studio apartment crammed into a wagon.
hmm
And then they have specialized Bardos, which are like, this one only holds bunks.
The
This one
different
only
rooms.
holds a kitchen. This, yeah, it's like you
Mhm.
took a house, chopped them up, and each room is a wagon.
So what is the bedroom one? The bunk one?
So
Like how many bunks does it have? What other specs?
with the bunk one, it looks like it can hold 4 people.
So we need at least 2 of them for the beds.
Yeah.
Does it have like storage space or any of the other things that we wanted?
So looking at the schematics for the what's known as the I'm blanking on the actual, because there are actual terms for these. Oh, I want to say it's just the bunking Bardo or something like that. There is space underneath 2 of the beds, which are the ones on the bottom half. So it's bed on the bottom, and then hammocks that are set up slightly offset to those.
Mm-hmm.
There is a little bit of a living area, but there's not really a lot. It's meant for you go in here to sleep. The living area is more of like a table with a candle and a chair.
Mm-hmm. I'm typing this. 2 our beds and 2 our bunks. 2 our hammocks.
Yeah.
Would you be able to do something like this, but with more beds, or that's when the heavier team, the stronger team, comes in?
That's when the stronger team would come in. We can make something like this. That would be a custom order. If it's just like a place for you to get out of the rain, it's easy enough to do.
Just for more like camping out of the rain rather than, oh, it's raining, quick, everybody inside. Like, it's more, we really need to sleep. Oh, it's torrential downpour, we can't set up a tent or bags around a camp in this kind of weather. So it doesn't have to be super opulent inside. That's why I was suggesting maybe even just hammocks hanging up. The other main thing that we need is storage space, especially secretive storage space. We had an issue where we were robbed blindly. Our cart was picked apart while we were fighting some ogres and goblins and the like. So we want something that, even if it was stashed away secretly, things couldn't be taken.
All right. Writes down a little bit more notes. Is there anything else that you're wanting with this Perhaps is there a design as generally when we do the Vardos, they're for a folk that come through here every now and then.
Mm-hmm.
I can't remember what they're called. They're
I know who you're talking about. I'm blanking.
Vistana?
Vistani.
Something. Yeah, I think that's it. They occasionally come around and they need people to make and upkeep their wagons. They generally do most of their stuff themselves, but
Mm-hmm. Reinforcement, like a stronger kind of vehicle.
we can do something like that. Again, you're going to be looking to have a much heftier beast pulling it.
What about an elephant?
She kind of looks at you for a moment. That is possible. I can't say there's a lot that you'll be able to find. You'd have to probably talk with one of the traders and see if they could get one in for you.
Oh, I know. But so like, how strong are we talking? Like, is elephant like overkill, or
An
is
elephant
that?
an elephant would pull way more than you need. That is a bit overkill.
And
But
Okay,
then
so-
again,
not very subtle either.
No,
What
I know.
about like 2 oxes?
you'll probably need about 4 if we're going through everything that we've talked about so far.
Mm-hmm.
Are camels stronger than oxes?
Camels you wouldn't want around here, dear. And no, they're not.
Do you have
So what
any
could we pull?
recommendations?
There is magic propulsion to help keep it easier on your beasts. There is we can commission a local mage to even set up a draft of what are they called? Phantom steeds to pull it. However, something that you're describing, honestly, an entire base
Well,
within.
not really an entire base. I'm not explaining it.
We're just looking for somewhere to be able to sleep outside that's not having to take the time to put up tents and storage space to put all of our loot.
Even like sleeping rolls on the floor of the thing would be better than sleeping out in the rain, honestly.
What about a polar bear?
Scarlet,
Okay,
I like how you're thinking.
I'm gonna stop you there, Scarlet. You would not know what a polar bear is.
What about a bear?
But I'm right here.
If you can tame a bear, they would probably not be the best pack beast.
Listen, we're just gonna have to probably go with the oxes, guys. It's the best option.
Yeah.
Just whispers in Drax's ears. We could just
What?
get a slave
Let me
orc.
mute.
We could just get a slave orc.
Slave pork.
Wait, we have potato.
No.
We could use potato. And feed
No.
him potato.
No potato. That's mean, the slavery.
I say we just make an appointment, and when Ginkgo and Lothar are available, we come back. We talk to the wagon master and show him Ginkgo's drawing.
Yeah.
But we know
Guys,
what.
I know what could pull this thing. A duck.
Oh gosh.
A duck.
A duck army.
A duck army. Yes. and then we could let them all go once we get attacked, so they all like attack the thing. Be like, Quacker Army!
Would you rather
attack!
fight 1,000 duck-sized horses or one horse-sized duck?
Horse-sized duck. I'll just throw a loaf of bread. It'll be distracted.
Agreed.
Bread's bad for ducks.
I'm gonna walk up to the lady and like totally bullshit myself and just walk up and be like, I know you normally serve nobility, and well, I'm from House Armstrong in Coneybury.
They pull out the list of various heraldry and start looking through. And they don't find anything.
I'm just gonna look at Draxus, and I'm a virgin.
You may not find anything because, you know, Coneybury was destroyed a long time ago, and I'm one of the few people that managed to get out of there, so a lot of our history is probably lost.
Yeah, in Coneybury, but we still do have records.
I was looking at everyone and be like, well, I tried, and I start walking out.
Could you do no bunks, but like hammocks hanging from the roof? Would that ease the pulling load?
Oh yeah, it would ease the pulling load quite a bit.
Would we be able to fit 7 or 8 hammocks in there? Or even 4 up top and then space for 4 to sleep on, you know,
It would be quite
like
cramped.
bedrolls? It's really only for evenings. I don't know if you've ever traveled with anyone, but you kind of have to
If you're fine with a
get pretty
cuddle
up
pile,
close with somebody.
that's definitely fine. We can do something like that.
I'm
So 4
cuddling
hammocks up
Triss.
top.
I'm not getting nowhere near Draxus. I don't trust that.
So 4 hammocks up top, and then a space for 4 bedrolls.
We can do something like that, yes. Would you like the hammocks detachable to be stored away, or do you want them to be permanently
Probably
installed?
detachable. Well,
All right.
like we said, we need to speak to our other party members, but could we put both options up for discussion once we come back for our appointment?
Certainly. I think anything more than what we've discussed now, because I do need to get back to work. I think we need to set up an appointment. When do you think you can be next available? We can see about putting you in on the books. And then she's puts away the book that she had and pulls out what like a.
What's your first available?
Our first available is here. That would be in 4 days.
Reckon we'll be here 4 days?
Oh yeah, definitely. If not, we can wait around.
Yeah, that works. What time?
4 days at 4 p.m.
Sounds good.
Fourth bell.
Sorry?
4th evening bell.
Perfect.
All right. And can I get a name?
Chris. Tristar Raven Ellis.
All right. Can you spell that for me?
TRISTAR space Raven. Actually, no, it's not. It's RAVAN ELIS.
This is ink, dear. I can't erase. And you get a feeling that's probably how Vardo became Varbo in their book, because it's ink and they can't erase, so they just went with it.
Sounds good.
So they have your name in the books. It is misspelled.
That's fine. Probably for the best, but it's misspelled.
In 4 days at 4th bell.
Okay. I've got it in my calendar.
All right.
Thank you so much for your help. What was your name again? Sorry? Jane.
Jane Doe.
Pleasure, Jane. It was so nice doing business with you. We look forward to seeing you in 4 days. I hold up my hand to shake.
She shakes your hand as well. It's a very average grip.
That's fine. I'll give her a little cheeky wink. Great,
Darling, I'm married to my husband, John.
That's okay. I can still appreciate it.
You just killed Fluffy
Sounds like
right
you're made
there.
for each other.
What was that? What was that, Kaylin?
Sounds like you're perfect for each other.
I think he's wonderful, and she looks off to another one of the workers who, again, just so NPC, you didn't even notice he was there. He was background noise until he was pointed out.
He's cute.
Thanks, I just got lightheaded.
Look at Triss being a little flirt.
Oh no, I just want people to feel appreciated.
She felt more than appreciated.
I am pan-romantic. So I appreciate all the things.
All right. After going to Nighttime Nomads, where are you heading next?
I'm gonna try to find a bookstore.
A bookstore. Those you'd be able to find, depending on what kind of bookstore that you want. You can find them pretty much a couple of different places in the city.
I was first gonna be looking for an alchemy book, and then the one that I had sent you.
You'd probably be able to find both easy enough in the Blue Lake District.
New money.
It's more the fact that they are right there where they need to be for getting things in, because they are the port area. So all the commerce comes through this way.
So we're in the Blue Lake area?
Yep. Blue
Where?
Lake District.
In the lake, apparently.
In the lake, yes.
Where's
actually,
the
sure.
bookshop?
We'll say the bookshop is this building right here.
Oh, X person?
No, X person.
Well, I don't know who's doing it, so I can't be like, oh, X man or X woman.
Oh, X-Man Magneto shows up. You called.
Yo, bitches. No, I'm kidding.
What is the bookshop called? DM?
The bookshop is called... we'll say it is called Nettle and Basil.
Nettle and Basil?
Yep. You get the feeling that they weren't originally a bookshop.
The greengrocers and blacksmith.
Okay, name tag goes there because it won't stop clipping there.
Yep.
Nettle?
Yes, nettle, like the
I
plant.
thought you said metal, and I was like, that's an interesting combo.
Upon entering the shop, you find out why it's called Nettle and Basil. Because it originally was an apothecary.
Mm-hmm.
And still is. You walk in, it is hanging plants, it is the scent of greenery, it is books everywhere. You see what actually seems to be a fairy flitting around, tending to plants. She's maybe about a foot tall.
Oh, different kind of fairy. Not my kind of fairy.
And in the way back is a elderly woman who just seems a little off in proportions. Smiles too wide as she's sitting there in the back, reading a book, rocking in her chair. Ears are a little bit too long, fingers a little bit too long, arms a little bit too lanky. She looks like she's been stretched. You can roll me an Arcana check to see if you can, if this is a hag.
I'm terrible at Arcana, but sure. Let's go.
Could be. You don't know.
Is it a Fey world creature? Can I have advantage if it is?
Do you have any feature that would allow you to have advantage? Other than being Fey?
Fey? No. But like it was like? I don't think I do anyway. Hang on. What are you? I can't read any of my features because of my screen.
I'm pretty sure you just gave Turkey flashbacks.
Why?
He hates The Grudge.
Oh, sorry.
It's one of the
no,
few
I don't.
horror movies that fucked me up.
And we tease about him. We tease him about it constantly by making that noise. So please
That
continue.
wasn't even a really good grudge sound. I could have done so much better.
Do them. I need to hear them.
Obi, do you want kicked in the head again?
Anyway, seems just like a normal old lady.
Say, seeing her, can I try to make an Arcana check? Because I'm the one that's actually skilled in Arcana in this group currently, I think.
Yeah, you can make me an Arcana check.
I know everything.
This is not a hag. However, this is what is called a hex blood. Somebody who has hag's blood in their body, but they are not a hag.
Ooh.
Whether it be what is essentially kind of like you, a tiefling. Someone in their lineage made a deal with a hag and it has warped their entire being. Maybe they made a deal with a hag and it went awry and they've been warped. Maybe their dad was freaky and boned a hag and they were the result. Whatever the thing is, they are not a hag, but they are adjacent to it.
Like a half-blood, kind of.
A half-blood.
I'm gonna walk up to the old lady. Greetings, how are you doing today?
She looks up at you and smiles, and it's Cheshire is the best way I can describe the smile. It is ear to ear. There's far too many teeth, and all of them are needle-like. Greetings, dear. How can I help you?
Yes, I'm a starting alchemist, and I was wondering if you had any books so I can continue my studies.
Alchemy books. I have a couple, yes. Are you wanting to purchase, or are you wanting to simply browse?
Purchase. I was wanting to be able to read it on my travels and study it more intricately than just browsing through it.
Of course. And she stands up, and as she stands, you realize that when she was in the chair, it was like knees to nipples for her. Standing up, she is about like 8 foot tall. Just, it's all stick rail thin.
I was like slowly start looking up, like, you're a tall drink of water.
Well, aren't you just flattering? And she puts her book away and she starts like stepping over the desk between you both and starts going through it is uncanny to watch. But she's able to move through this place with pretty practiced ease. It just is very much a sight. She starts going to one of the back bookshelves and moves a couple plants out of the way and starts looking through stuff. Is there anything in particular that you are looking for with your alchemy research? Or are you simply wanting a primer?
Actually, I'd already read that. What was the book's name? I've already read the primer on alchemical mixtures. I was looking for the next step forward.
All right. So you're, right. And she pulls out one of the books. Looks like she's got 2 copies of it, multiple copies for if they're necessary. And she, from where she's at, takes the book and like her arm extends and then stretches even further than it should. You hear the cracking and popping of joints dislocating as she reaches out and hands it to you.
My eyes are kind of like gonna cringe at the noise. I'm gonna take it from her. Thank you. I really appreciate it. How much would this be?
That would be 50 gold. If you would like, there are 3 more books in the set. You can buy all 4, and I will give you a discount and make it only 175.
I mean, I can't turn down a discount now.
She pats you on the head. I knew you wouldn't. And her arm, you hear the cracking as the bones pull back into place. She grabs the other 4 books, and as she grabs them all, it kind of weighs her down. Like, they're dragging, like, her arms are, like, real low to the ground. She, like, brings them over and pulls them up so you can grab them.
I'll take them from her and set them up on the little counter.
I love her.
Is there anything else that you would all like?
Well, I see you have a bit of herbs here. I was also looking for possibility the herbs and the mixtures to be able to make more alchemist fire.
Alchemist. Yes, we can do that. We do have some fireweed in the back. We tend to keep it away from the flammable books. About this time, Obi, as you're, what are you doing during this?
Libby and Moira aren't really doing much of anything. They're just kind of here for the ride until we feel it's a good opportunity to move towards the black market. Although he does seem to be eyeballing some blacksmithing books that he's unfamiliar with.
Yeah, you're looking at some of the blacksmithing books. They are very dusty. It looks like they've probably been on the shelf for quite a while, because nobody would want to come to a place like this for blacksmithing books. Why would you? Blacksmiths don't come to places like this for books. Hell, they don't even go get books half the time.
It's more so like, because this being a major town, you know, there's all sorts of regional smiths coming through here, so I figure there might be a book on different variations of smithing.
There is a it's less a like, this is how you smith, and more of like a picture book of what looks to be like an old catalog of like elven artifice and blacksmithy that like was probably made for like elves, being like, oh, look at our stuff, it's so much better than yours, come buy elf stuff. Like, you see a book on elvish smithies, you see a book on various dwarven techniques that you already know. Various things like that. But as you're looking through these books, I need you to roll me a dexterity save.
Ooh.
A 13 just makes it. As you notice, hopping off the shelves is a tiny frog, and it goes to land on top of your head. What do you do? with your you have time to react. What do you do?
Obi noticing the frog.
Frogger.
What?
Frogger.
Obi noticing the frog is going to quickly whip the backpack off of him and then catch the frog inside of it.
The frog disappears into the the backpack, and you hear from the depths.
Now what in the bloody hell do we have here? Thought we were inside of a library, not our local nature reserve.
The frog is in your bag. What do you? I see Caitlin just changed her profile pic.
She what?
Caitlin changed her profile picture.
Did
Yeah.
she? Ovi is just gonna go to the lady managing the bookstore and be like, "Are you missing a pet or something?"
She looks around. Then she kind of looks back at you and she nods and she says, "Tad isn't here."
He wouldn't happen to be a frog, perchance, would he?
He is. That's why I named him Tad, because I got him as a tadpole.
Ovi is gonna close his eyes for a second, just kind of silently groan to himself at the terrible naming.
I got him just outside in the Blue Lake.
Well, would you like him back? Otherwise, I think I've got a friend that has a penchant for frog legs.
Please.
My head's gonna whip around at that. Like, somebody say frog legs?
I'm just gonna hand her my backpack so she can retrieve it rather than opening it and, it escaping.
She reaches into the backpack, and for some reason, like, she has to reach all the way to her shoulder, and you're not even sure how her super long ass arms all got in there and why it's taking that much just to grab the frog. But it does. She eventually grabs out the frog. She holds it up. I thank you. Kisses. And she does a kissy face to the frog, and its tongue just shoots out towards her nose.
Okay, nose is fine.
She puts the frog down on the counter and hops away happily.
Well, that just happened.
Is there anything else that I can help you all with?
There's just one other book I was wondering if you possibly may have, but I don't think so. It's not really possibly up your alley, and I'm gonna whisper to her that book that I was looking for and see if she has anything like that.
She thinks for a moment, then she kind of looks at you. I do have such a tome of cursed magics.
Where would that be?
I keep it away in a special place. She reaches out into the air, into nothingness, far into what looks to be like where the rafters would be. She grabs on something and pulls down, and it's a rope that she seems to pull out of nowhere and just continues to pull down. And then you realize that that's not a rope, that's a snake. She lets go, and it's just floating in midair. It's the body of a snake just floating in midair. And she says, "Come with me, I'll show you." And she starts climbing up the snake into nothingness.
It's not gonna turn into a staff now, is it?
I'm gonna look around really
No.
confused and try to follow her.
You take hold of the snake, It hisses a little bit as you grab it. Do you climb up?
I'll slowly climb up and be like, sorry, buddy, I'm kind of heavy.
Make me an athletics check.
I also have an idea for books that might be helpful for later. Just saying now. Get out of the way. Someone reminds me.
Another nat 20 for
Nice.
or
Why can't we be fighting something right now?
We have no more luck. Thank you, Perky.
Don't worry, it'll be
yeah,
worth it.
you do not get exhausted as you climb 30 minutes up a snake rope
In chainmail heavy armor.
in chainmail heavy armor. That's why I said it could have been a constitution save. Either or. But yeah, you eventually get up to the rafters and you look down and everyone's still there. They're in sight. They seem a lot bigger now. And then you look around and you realize that you're like 3 inches tall.
I'm gonna try to drop a copper coin on Obi's head.
Obi, you feel a very, very light, like it's barely perceptible, but you have super high passive perception. Something hit your head.
Obi's just gonna look up and see Jiraxis, probably with a shit-eating grin on his face right about now.
Yeah, from your perspective, it looks like he's super far away. And then you blink and you realize, no, he's not super far away. He's just small. And there's something fucky about your perception of distance and like size as you look up. That's like you're getting a splitting headache.
So you really keep these tomes hidden all the way up here?
I do. And she points out to what looks like a painting on the wall. Like it's partially on the floor, then like it goes up to the wall, and it is 2-dimensional.
It's like the Minecraft paintings.
No, I mean like it looks like it's one of those paintings where if you look at it wrong, it doesn't look like anything, and then you like change your perspective, then it looks like something.
Oh.
Okay, I'm gonna do something real quick.
You're not there. You're still on the bottom. You're still on the floor, unless you're climbing up there with.
Oh no. Obi's gonna step outside, and I'd assume there's just trees all about the place, right?
Yeah.
Obi's gonna find a stick just randomly laying on the ground. Come back inside. Make a little notch at the end of said stick. And is going to put the coin in there and then fire it back at Jiraxis.
All right. Make me a ranged attack. Improvised weapons. So this is just a dexterity check. That's a save, so -3 to this. 14. Draxus, what's your armor class?
16.
And are you wearing? And I should ask. You said you are wearing your chainmail.
Yep.
So you feel a coin, a copper coin, full size to you, hit your person. It doesn't do any damage. Just plinks against your armor.
Hey, I got my coin back. This place really is magic.
And then Obi's
yeah,
just gonna walk off and sit in a chair until they're done.
the Hexblood, she kind of like reaches out and like puts an arm around your shoulder, but because her arms are so long, like it's around your shoulder, but it's also like at your hip. And she starts guiding you, and as the perspective of the bookshelf changes and shifts, and you see it for what it is, a bookshelf, she says, "It's that one there. Reach out. Grab it."
Can I insight her to make sure she's actually telling the truth since she's kind of related to a hag?
Yeah, make me an insight check. I was going to roll, but no. You see that she is telling the truth. You're not entirely sure how this is working, but you feel like it's some sort of magic.
I reach out and take the book.
It's weird. Like, from the perspective that you had seen walking up, you shouldn't be able to grab. But you grab onto solid book. You pull it out, and it's in your hands now. It's a book.
How do you do this? Like, this is really cool. I can imagine it's even better for your business being able to store stuff in such a small area.
She smiles and turns and says, "Reality is what you make of it, dear."
I just give a smile and a chuckle, but like, yeah, I think we can both agree with that one.
And she smiles and says, "Would you like a demonstration?"
Sure. Sure, yeah.
"What do you want me to bring? What do you want? Name something you desire."
I don't suppose you can bring people back to life, but...
Oh, no. I mean object-wise, dear. Unless you want me to conjure a corpse.
Can you make plate armor that fits me?
I can try.
The last blacksmith said it would take almost 2 months.
And you see her start moving her hands, and I need you to make me an sorry, what is your investigation score? What's your passive investigation?
Passive perception is 11.
Investigation.
Oh.
How does that work, dear?
Same thing as passive perception, but it's with your investigation score. So it's 10 plus your investigation
okay,
modifier.
So 13, right?
Yeah.
Your investigation's 3, yeah, Perky?
Yeah, so 13.
Yeah. As far as you're aware, it looks like she is just conjuring things out of thin air, but you have to blink every single time she makes something because, like, you feel something off with it, but you're not entirely sure what. And you look at her hands. You can make me an Arcana check. You don't know these magics that she is doing.
I burned all my 20s.
Nope.
So, as you're watching her, it's almost as if she is weaving together shadow. And then, next thing you know, what once wasn't is now plate armor. Right there in front of you.
I just, like, take my boot and kind of, like, poke it and make sure it's actually even corporeal.
As you go to, you gotta get a little bit closer to poke it with your boot.
Yeah, I just assumed it was on the ground, so I'd, like, step up and be like, boop, boop.
As you move and your perspective changes, it becomes two-dimensional.
I try to pick it up.
As long as you perceive it as two-dimensional, you cannot.
Okay, so I gotta step back and then try to pick it up?
Yep.
Okay, I would step back and then try to grab it.
You grab it and it moves. It's plate mail.
You are amazing, and I'm definitely shopping here from now on.
Well, that will only last 10 minutes. I've not put a permanency on it.
Is that something you're capable of doing?
It is something I'm capable of doing, yes. All it is solidifying what isn't into reality.
Like I said, the last blacksmith I talked to said it would take almost 2 months to make something that fit me.
They don't have it.
How much was something that got cost?
Probably about the same. Otherwise, I'd be having every night that there ever was knocking down my door, and I would rather be focusing on my books and my potions.
Oh no, I don't blame you. I mean, I appreciate all this, especially this book right here. This is going to become very important in my travels.
She smiles. It's a very wide, very toothy smile, literally grinning from ear to ear.
I can't remember what the price was the blacksmith quoted for the armor.
1,500.
With all the
See
books.
if she'll do it for 1,000.
Yeah, with all the books and this armor, is there any bit of a discount you can give for quantity?
I mean, I don't generally make armor, so if you're wanting me to solidify this armor into reality, it'll take a little bit. Not nearly as long as a blacksmith would want it. I will say, however, with the armor that I would make you, don't step into an anti-magic zone. Because she taps the armor. This is only as real as you perceive it to be.
Only thing I can see is Draxus forgetting about this, stepping in an Antione and just butt naked.
Yeah, thinking about that, we have come across several also wild magic zones, and I haven't even been able to bring my horse there, and I don't think I'd want to risk that. I'll just take the books and the alchemy supplies.
Of course. And she kind of leans over the edge, and she calls out to everybody else. And it sounds like she's super distant, super far away. But you hear her voice come down to you all. Is there anything else anyone would like?
Yes, please.
How loud are you saying that?
I'm somewhat loud. If she sounds far away, so.
You don't need to yell, dearie. I'm right here.
Oh, sorry. Do we know the name of the dragon, or do we just know that it was an undead dragon?
You just know it was an undead dragon.
Would you happen to have any books on local history, perhaps battles with dragons, that were then attempted to be turned into caves? Any battles that went on with that? That sort of thing?
That's awfully that's awfully specific, dear.
Yes, I know.
I'll see
Never
what
hurts to
I've
ask.
got. One moment, I'm coming down there to you.
Please.
Quick question before we go down. Do we have to go down the snake to get back to normal size?
I mean, yes. Why?
Stupid reason. Never mind. I'll climb down the snake.
You climb down the snake. And once again, to everybody else watching, it looks like he's climbing down from a very far distance and takes him a while. Draxus, you eventually return to your normal size.
Guys, you won't believe what was up there. It was awesome. It was a full-on battle. Everything was super cool. I got soaked in blood. It was awesome.
Coming down, sliding down like it's a fireman's pole, and taking like not even part of the time, comes the Hexblood that owns the shop. She is now her normal size. And she looks at the snake and just kind of like taps its head, and it kind of like slithers back up. All right. No. What was it that you wanted? The books on local history and dragons?
Yeah, we came across a mountain, like a hill in the shape of a dragon earlier, and we were just kind of wondering what the story was with that, how that came about, if there would be anything on any dragons that lived a long time in the area, because we did our this is to the GM, not in character.
Mhm.
We figured out that it was once a dragon, right? Was that only in fighting it? I'm not trying to cause any panic of there's a dragon on the loose, but be like, yeah, like we found out that it used to be a dragon, and that's really cool, and we want to just know the history behind that kind of thing.
Yeah, make me a deception check.
Well, it's not really deception. I'm trying to say
You're
the
still
horrible
deceiving.
part.
It is a type of deception.
14.
Don't Fey Wanderer Rangers get to add their wisdom bonus to their charisma stuff? Or is it just in stuff that you're proficient in?
Where would that be in the Fey Wanderer magic?
Features and traits.
I have favorite enemy, canny, fighting style, primal awareness, dreadful strikes, Fey Wanderer magic, otherworldly glamour.
I
Fairy
think that
magic.
might be it. Otherworldly glamour.
Give yourself your shot. Whenever you make a charisma check, you get a bonus to the check equal to your wisdom modifier, minimum of 1. In addition, you gain proficiency in one of the following skills of your choice: deception, performance, or persuasion. I think I put it in either perception. I think I put it in perception. Or maybe I didn't pick it. How many? Anyway. So my wisdom modifier is a 2.
So that is in total a 16.
Yeah.
Let me roll for her. You just beat it.
I'm not trying to be deceptive. I just don't want to concern her.
She is not alarmed, and she kind of nods and says, "It's always good to know that people still are interested in history. Let's see.
Absolutely.
Stuff on dragons and local history. For local history, you're probably going to be better to go towards the House of Knowledge.
Okay.
There's a temple to, let me double check. I want to say it's Sabris is the temple.
Ooh. And it's, again, out of character, it sprayed acid at us, right?
It sprayed acid at you, correct?
In particular, acid spraying dragons. It's a what's the word? I don't know what the word is. Oh crap! What's the word? The only word that's coming to mind is hyperfixation. So I guess that's gonna do. But it's an interest of mine.
Ogma.
Ogma?
Ogma is the House of Knowledge.
Oh. So you were being like, that's the dragon's name. And I'm like, oh, wow.
Let's see here. If you're wanting local history, you'll want to go to the Temple of Ogma, the House of Knowledge.
Okay.
If
Do you have anything on dragons?
I've got a few things on dragons. Generally on what sort of things that can be used in potion making from their being. But I do believe I have. And she kind of faffs about looking for something. And then you see her find what she's looking for. And it's very odd. It looks super like a tiny little itty bitty book. She reaches into the shelf and reaches into the shelf and reaches into the shelf and like super far back. Even though the shelf is like, if you look at it from the side, maybe like 1.5 feet wide. She's once again shoulder as far as she can. You even hear her arms stretching to get to it. Grabs the book and pulls it out. And as she pulls it, it's becoming bigger and bigger and bigger. Until she pulls out a very large, dusty tome. She pops it down onto the counter and opens it up, and it seems to be a pop-up book.
Ooh.
Starts flipping through it, and pop-up books are for children. She opens up the first thing of pop-up, and it's just a dragon causing absolute carnage with like bloody corpses and such.
I love it.
She pulls one of the little things on the pop-up, and like a little speech bubble pops out on the thing. If you've ever watched Master of Disguise, it's that book, kind of that book.
A dragon.
But dragons. And she's like going through stuff, and like this is how she's figuring out what pages. Just these little speech bubbles that are popping up. And she eventually finds one on acid-breathing dragons. As the pop-up for this one is like this deep black swamp with like various undead skeletons like half rising out of it. What looks to be... Make me a history check. It's a very low DC.
Okay, because I have a -1 in history.
Yeah, definitely. This is just for recalling knowledge. Putting 2 and 2 together, this dragon that is being shown looks like what you had encountered, but if it was alive with flesh and muscle on it, with scales still intact.
I would have to lean over to look at it some more.
Looking over to look at it some more. What drew you most is the horns. That's what caught your eye. They're horns that point forward. A lot of the dragons up till now had their horns like swept back or didn't have horns and had fins instead. This one almost looks like an ox's horns that point forward. The scales are black, almost oily. There is a malevolence to its eyes. Cruel, but not wild. More cunning, more manipulative, more looking at you. And the pop-up moves its head and looks up at you. As it seems to come alive the longer that you are inspecting it.
What's this one's name? Is there a piece of paper or something? I don't want to look at the dragon anymore.
As you look away from the dragon, it stops being alive. It's back to being a picture book. Exactly how it was. And only you saw this, by the way. Only you are seeing it move. And she looks up, like she pulls the little thing, and she says, "Well, this is what seems to be a black dragon, dear. They tend to reside in swamps and other foul and putrid places. They tend to have a penchant for, unlike their more violent cousins, like the reds or the blue. Oh, no, blues, not really. The reds or the whites, they're, more cunning and tend to not be as destructive as they are
Domineering.
Hmm.
Though
Not
that
bad.
is not to say they are not capable of destruction.
Do you know if this area used to be swampland?
This area?
Mhm.
There was swamp land around. But mostly it's a bit south, if you've ever heard of the Mirror of Dead Men.
I don't know, have
It is actually pretty close to Phandalin. You have heard of
I?
it.
Oh, okay. Yeah, love that. Great.
I will bring you all to the map. I said I will bring you all to the map. I said, Roll20 work with me here.
On the map, on the map, on the map.
I will
Every
go
place
to your
you gotta
headquarters.
go. I'm the one you need to know on the map.
There we are.
Okay.
So if you look at the bottom of the map, just south of
Oh,
Lillian
yeah.
is the Mirror of Dead Men.
Which is kind of far from.
You also have to think,
Turkey.
it's a big dragon. It can cover distance.
Oh no, my concern is one that's close to Mandolin.
Hey, Perky.
Yeah.
Here.
Yay. The book, is it just a kid's picture book, or does it have like information on like weaknesses, like other things about the dragon?
Yeah, she pulls on a few more tabs and such. She says, contrary to popular belief with these dragons, a lot of people think if you're fighting a fire dragon, you want to hit it with ice, or if you're fighting an ice dragon, you hit it with fire, so on and so forth. And you see, she like flips to a different page, and it's looks to be an epic battle between a red dragon and what seems to be some cryomancers, and then she pulls a tab, and it's the fire shooting out of the dragon's mouth just seems to like pop out, and like all the cryomancers just burn alive. That's not actually the case. It will hurt them, but it doesn't hurt them any more than anything else would. They are quite resistant to their own element to the point of practical immunity, however, so I wouldn't go, trying to burn a red dragon
Fire with
alive.
fire.
However, with black dragons, looking through this, I say as I'm actually looking through the monster manual for stuff on black dragons for you. Black dragons, they're... how to put this? Weaknesses. There's not really a lot. See, the thing with black dragons, she flips back to like one of the previous pages. They're apex predators. And with that comes not only strength, but the knowledge on how to use that strength. And the fact that they're more cunning than they are brutal, like a white dragon, well... She, kind of shows that...
She pulls a tab on the book, and the scene of the pop-up shifts and changes. The skeletons that are coming out of the swamp seem to multiply. The ones that come out of this swamp also come with swarms of buzzing flies, seem to come with various what it's a very hard thing to, as you're looking at it, it's almost like, have you ever stood up too fast?
Mm.
Many.
And it's like the world just disappears as you like kind of almost black out.
Mm-hmm.
As she pulls the tab, that kind of happens to you.
Oh.
As it seems like the entire world starts getting a little dark. Beyond that, travel into their area is restricted. Beyond that, you don't want to eat or drink in their area. Anything you bring in will foul very quickly, and, well, they use that to their advantage. You're going to have to hunt for them, and your supplies will be extremely limited because of that. Swamps can drag you under. They hold untold things that lurk within the fog, between the peat and the trees, sucking mud. She pulls another tab. Like, the more she pulls on this book, it feels like there shouldn't be another tab. But there's another tab. There's always another tab. But every
I'm
single
gripping
time,
the counter that I'm leaning against.
but every single time she pulls a tab, you notice that the tips of her fingers start to bleed more and more. Like, pulling this information out of the book is physically hurting her.
Oh. No.
I'm gonna touch her hand and try to use lay on hands.
You try to use lay on hands. Can you post lay on hands? It doesn't work on some things, right?
I've actually never paid attention to that. There's no effect on undead or constructs.
Okay, so it does work on her.
Okay, I was getting ready to say, because if she was undead, I should have figured that out.
Well,
So yeah, you heal her up. As she pulls the next one, you see that the dragon kind of like lowers itself into the swamp, and because it's so dark and like it's hard to focus, it's your eyes, it's like the world is dark around you. The dragon disappears. And in its place seems to be an army of scaled lizard people tearing flesh from what little was left of the skeletons in the swamp. They tend to be able to raise armies, whether undead or scale folk. She reaches for another tab. Do any of you stop her as she pulls more information?
Yeah.
All right, she goes to pull more information out, and you stop her. How do you stop her?
I think that's enough for now. Would you be willing to pot with this book?
She turns to look at you, and you realize that you'd been focusing on the book and her fingers as she's been pulling at it. She's been facing more towards the book, away from you guys. As she turns to look at you, her whites of her eyes are entirely red, and she's literally crying blood.
I'll touch her arm and try to heal her and fix her.
How many points of lay on hands do you put in?
Well, I'm not really worried about spending too much right now, so 9 more, because I put 1 in before.
There is very little change.
Fuck it, the rest of the 20.
I don't want the book.
How much do you put in total?
I'll just put in all 30 that I had, so that'll make a total of 30.
She looks about half better.
Sure. Would you like to sit down for a moment?
I would, dear. That would be nice. Can you grab my knitting?
Yes. Would you like a cup of tea? Do you have tea? I can make you tea.
Yes.
Like, you realize she's now, like, staring into nothingness. Like, her eyes can't focus now that she's not looking at the book.
You had a little fairy friend. Hey, little fairy friend. Where'd you go?
You know, I'll be nice, and
you
she really helped us. I'll go ahead and use Cure Wounds, too.
Roll me Cure Wounds.
It's actually on the front of my spell sheet here. Yeah, there it is. I can cast that at level 2, right?
Yeah, you can cast it at whatever level you have spell slots at.
Okay, cool. I'll go ahead and do level 2.
9 more hit points. She's doing a little bit better. To out of character it, she lost 60 hit points from dealing with this book.
Oh shit! Maybe I don't want to buy this book.
Another level 2 spell, because I like her and she's really nice.
You have healed 39 of these 60 hit points that she has lost.
I will be here all day if I have to, because she's such a sweet old lady for a half-blooded hag.
Yeah, I got healing too.
That is an additional 14. So
Hang on.
39 plus 14 is 54. She's pretty good now. She's fine.
One more. Wait. Cure wounds.
You all just pump all the healing into her.
She's really lovely.
She is such a weird lady.
And you deal 4 psychic damage. No, I'm kidding. Yeah, she's back. She's back to full now. And, like,
Okay.
There's still the blood that was there. It's still like staining her.
I'm gonna clean her up. I have like a little. I'm a mother. I'm gonna get a little rag and I'm gonna lick it and I'm gonna just.
She bends down for you because she's 8 foot tall. She like bends down.
Well, she's
like,
sitting.
She still bends down.
Well,
and
no, don't strain yourself. I'll just flap my little wings and I'll get up to her level so she doesn't have to.
You get up to her level and you clean off her face, and she seems very appreciative of it. Looking around for the fairy, can someone roll me a perception check?
Yeah.
OB.
Scarlet, what have you been doing during this?
Nothing. I'm just kind of like sitting over there in the corner, like just grabbing a book here, opening it, closing it, putting it back. You know, just being my antisocial self. Whereas, like, I see some some situation going on, I just kind of go look over and go, "Huh, okay," and just continue pulling out a book and opening it up and putting it back.
I need you to make me a perception check as well.
Okay.
Books are not the barbarian specialty.
I know, so I'm literally opening it like, cool, don't know what that says. Close it, puts it back on the shelf.
Oh wow, there's 3 of them. Yeah.
I don't know why there's 3 of them.
Obi, you see this. Scarlet, you don't. So when you go to take your next step, you realize a little bit too late that your shoestrings have been tied together.
Fuck you guys.
And you trip, and you fall on your face, and then, like, literally a foot away from your face is the foot-tall fairy. She's, like, giggling at you, and then she just disappears.
I want to kill this fairy.
The fairies
the
give me no
fairies.
help. The
Fight the
cheetah.
fairies.
Don't
Fuck
fight
the
the fairies.
Don't fight the fairies.
As a
I just-
fairy.
I just
Not
go
a good
roll
idea.
over and sit on my butt and just stay there, like just like grabbing the books at the end of the shelf, just open it. Like, okay, I fell, I don't care type of shit.
Seeing that you took it in decent humor, you find that there is now an acorn in your pocket.
Oh, I got a present.
Anyway, the fairy comes over and flits over to the proprietor of the shop and says, "Tea."
Yes. I think you need some tea.
Okay. Mistress, do you want foxglove tea? Do you want belladonna tea? Or do you want angel's trumpet tea? Or do you want cyanide tea?
Do you have any chamomile or lavender?
No.
Oh. What tea would you want, dear? I'm still cleaning up her face.
She kind of looks over and says,
Belladonna will do.
can someone roll me a survival check or a nature check?
I don't need to. The survival is the thing.
What check do you need?
Nature or survival? Preferably
Let me
nature.
add
Survival will
survival.
be at a higher DC.
I can do survival. I have a 5. Oh, come on.
Atropa belladonna. Deadly nightshade.
Yep.
The most poisonous flower in the world that we live in. Not so much in D&D. There are far worse things.
I have valerian root tea. That's
I was
poison.
going to say, valerian root is poison.
Yep.
The fairy flits off to the back, and you hear a kettle being put on, and the grunting of a foot-tall fairy trying to put a kettle on.
Now, why did you push yourself if that was such a taxing book? Kind of in like a young lady kind of term. Like a
She
voice.
kind of looks at you. She says,
I get lost in study.
I feel that. It was a very captivating book.
You wanted to buy it.
Does
Yeah,
it do
yeah.
that for everybody?
It does.
Hmm.
The more you ask of it, the more it asks of you.
Yeah.
Does this book like tell you almost anything you want to know?
No, just dragons.
no, she actually nods to what Draxus
Oh,
asks.
shit.
So I'm guessing however more important the information you ask of it, it's more taxing on you.
She nods.
How much is it?
Something like this costs quite a pretty penny. There's a reason it was so far back in the shelves. If you're wanting it, I will part for it. For 8,000. And that's because you've been so nice and caring to me.
Oh, that's
Most
very
people
sweet.
look at me and they are frightened. When I first moved here, my shop was burned down thrice.
Who?
Oh, they're all dead now, dear.
Good. Good.
Just because you come from bad blood doesn't make you bad. It's what you do with it.
She reaches out and like boops your nose.
This one understand.
No, I understand.
Listen, when you walk around places and you get dirty looks, you learn to do with them what you have to.
Mm-hmm.
Seems your entire group, well, most of your group, was like that. You've got yourself a Dampier. You've got yourself a Tiefling. You've got yourself. She points to you, Kalen. Or she points. Yes, Kalen. You, the player, Kalen.
You've got yourself an Australian?
You've got yourself an Australian. Don't you know they bring drop bears with them?
You smell Foster's.
Ew, pick a good one.
She points to you, Triss. You've got yourself. What did you say your race was again?
Valyrian.
Valyrian. I was, for whatever reason, I was thinking freaking Valyrian.
Nope.
Because you freaking talked about Valyrian root tea. You've got yourself
Valerian.
Valyrian. You've got yourself, points to Obi, one who puts himself in the hands of a dark god. And yet,
And then we have our human.
your pet human. And
Yes.
yet, you all here are here, caring for me. Very kind. Good soul. But if you want this book, it is 8,000.
Oh no, yeah, that's
What?
I'm crying.
Why?
Because I love her so much.
Okay then.
Ah, damn emotions.
I feel it when he gave me Scarlet. That's exactly how I felt. I was so fucking happy, but so sad.
I just want to adopt her. Could she be my child?
I do believe I'm older than you, miss.
That's okay.
I just realized, did we even ask her name yet?
No.
I'm gonna like very kindly ask, be like,
It's
so
too late now.
what is your name? We haven't even asked what your name is yet.
Oh, I'm so glad you asked.
She bled for us, so we don't even know her name.
Do you need a moment, Kaylin?
I'm fine. I'm good. Just, yep, I'm good.
She's gonna make me cry, god damn it.
I'm just emotional right now. I'm good. Yep. Continue.
I'm shaking my head at you. I
Shut
hope
up.
you know that.
Shut up.
My name is Auntie Calendula.
Okay, where can we put this?
I'm writing it in my handy dandy little book that someone gave me.
Auntie Calendula? How do you spell that? Calendula? Like the plant?
Yes,
Calendula.
Calendula. Sorry.
And then I'll put Nettle and Basil, right?
Yeah, Nettle and Basil.
I'm gonna put it in notes and loot. Is that okay?
Yeah, sure.
Because only you've posted in there so far.
She points to the fairy that's been flitting about.
And that's Marshmallow.
Marshmallow. And what's the snake's name?
The snake, he's not got a name.
Is that
Everybody
from-
needs a name.
What should I name him?
He looks like a Larry.
Larry.
Yeah. What's the frog's name again? Tad, right?
Tad.
Tad and Snake.
Hmm.
Or Marigold.
No. I think I will call the snake Jake.
Cake?
Jake.
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 And
the
Jake. Yeah. Good choice.
Is there anything else I can help you with? Eventually, the fairy Marshmallow comes back with a cup of steaming tea. And she takes a healthy drink of the belladonna tea. Kind of like
Well,
she puts her overly long fingers around the mug to like have her
Mm.
hands warmed by the brew. Kind of like if she had an overly chunky sweater, it would be
Mhm.
like the cozy, comfy grandma.
the white woman's Instagram song.
Yep.
Well, we're done here, right? I look around at everybody.
I was gonna pay for my
Nothing else
books.
to buy? Oh yeah, I gotta pay for your books. So we'll pay up, and then maybe you should close up early for the day and go have a little bit of a rest.
I think I'll do that. I gave my name. Might I have your name?
Tris.
Thank you, Tris. It's good
Can
to
I
meet
write
you.
you letters?
I don't see why not.
Okay. We can be pen pals.
All right, I would like that. I don't have too many people to talk to.
We'll tell you all the stories of our adventures.
Hmm. She kind of pulls over a piece of paper and she grabs a pen and she starts scribbling on the piece of paper, and looks like she's drawing something. And once more, it's a matter of that forced perspective as she draws and draws and draws. And eventually, she reaches down to the paper and literally pulls out the drawing as it comes off of the paper and becomes solidified as an actual thing. As she hands to you, Kaylin. Yes, to you, Kaylin. I see
Me, the person. I
Chris-
reach into the camera.
I see freaking Chris's picture and I see Kaylin next to it.
Oh, sorry.
You're fine. She reaches
I always
out to
forget.
you, Tris, and hands you what looks to be a little trinket. What looks to be a piece of origami of some flowers. You make me a survival or a nature check.
I will cherish this for the rest of
You know exactly
my
what
life.
it is.
Yeah.
This is the flowering of nettle and basil. Rather than the actual, plant parts that you use, it's the
Mhm.
flowers of Unfold
Oh.
this, write on it, and I will receive your message.
I wish I had something that I could give you. Give her back.
You've already given me a lot today. Because I've just received a new friend.
You should say friends.
It's the hypothetical
Hey.
old ladies all over again.
Friends, you're right. I do hope you all write to me. If it's only her hand that I find in the penmanship, then I'll be kind of sad.
Wait. It's not super fancy, but could I use my druid craft? Is that what it's called? That I have through my fey magic?
Yeah.
Cantrip? And like make a little flower?
Yeah, easy enough.
I'd probably die, but ow, fuck, ow. And I'll make what's like a flower that just blooms near my house?
I don't know, it's your character.
I think Edelweiss are mountainous. It's a little Edelweiss.
Yeah,
Little some flowers.
you make the puffy white little Edelweiss flower.
Mm-hmm.
And she gingerly takes it with her overly long, lanky fingers, very bony fingers. She sniffs it, nods. She procures a vase out of like what looks to be nothing, and she plants it. And she looks outside, grabs a mug, and like scoops the air. And there's water in the mug now. She was like looking out at the blue lake. She pours it into the vase.
Who's the coolest person in the world? There. We're friends.
Fred. And he smiles and nods.
No. Wrap this papery stuff so we can let Auntie Calangela rest.
So the 3 books and the herbs make 2 vials of alchemist fire. How much would that be?
Are you also getting? You're also getting the Tome of Cursed Knowledge.
Oh, then yeah, the 4 books. My bad.
In total, that'll be 500.
So I'm gonna write that down because all that's technically on Brock's character sheet for him to remove when we come to next session. Because I can't fiddle with that. I assumed it was all in the bag of holding.
Mm-hmm.
Is that half a platinum? 1 platinum? I can't remember how much platinum is.
500? 500 is 10 platinum.
Oh.
Or not 10 platinum. Sorry, 50 platinum.
Okay, I got the negative 500 gold pieces written down.
Mm-hmm.
Because technically I can't fiddle with his character sheet, but I figured technically in a way they're following us around and I could go over there and steal money from him.
Mm-hmm.
So what do I put into my sheet for those books?
You can just put alchemy books 2 through 5. For the alchemist fire stuff, I'm gonna assume you're just gonna make it alchemist fire at your first chance available.
Yeah, pretty much.
And you're in a area of downtime. You can make them before you leave the city. I'll say when you leave the city next, when you're done with all your downtime in here, they've been made. So you can just put the alchemist fire on your sheet.
Okay, cool.
Well, actually, first, roll me 2 alchemies. Check.
intelligence based. Alchemy tools check.
I think I
Intelligence.
set that up correctly.
All right, another one.
Neither of those were very good.
You make one. The other one you spoil the ingredients.
Okay, so alchemy books 2 through 5.
Mhm.
Okay, cool. I got that written down.
And for the last one, are you okay with me hinting at what it is, or did you want to keep it secret?
Oh no, it's gonna be secret for now, and they're gonna find out.
All right. Well then,
Hate
you can.
that.
Put, then you can put as the name of it.
Why don't you just
hold
message
on.
it to him, babe?
Keep it as Tome of Cursed Knowledge.
I'm trying to think of lore. Igwilv? It's IGGWILV. So Igwilv's primer.
Okay, I got you.
All right.
What do I put for the thing that Auntie Colangela gave me?
The nettle and basil flowers.
Yeah, like, but you said if I open it, I can write to her. Is that a
Yes.
specific thing, or?
It is not a thing out of character. It's going to be a sending stone that she has the other of, but it is in writing and has no limit. Well,
Okay.
to an extent. Like,
I
you're
will-
obviously not going to be making books of it.
Origami. Origami? I know how to spell origami.
Yeah.
Ooh, the back hurts.
We'll say the word limit on it is doubled, so you can get 50 words rather than 25.
Oh, I was gonna write like, dear Auntie Colangela, this is what happened today, and give her like origami. Sending stone. For want of a better word. 50 words.
50 words.
Limit.
She gets the other 50. Sending them back.
Gotcha.
Before we leave, I'm gonna walk up and offer her a hug.
She'll set down her mug, and by now she's gotten a knitted blanket that's over her lap. She reaches out and accepts the hug.
Now, if anyone gives you any issues, make sure we're the ones you reach out to, and we'll make sure that nobody bothers you.
She chuckles. How do you think the people who burned down my house died? She pats you on the shoulder. Reality is what you make of it, dear. And then lets you go.
Okay. I miss her already. House of Knowledge.
Yeah.
What else do people need to buy? Because we can always split up as well. I can go do research for Ginkgo.
Well, I know we're plumb out of rope, and rope is probably not a bad thing to restock on. We used that at the
I
Gnome
think I
Town.
have rope.
I thought we used everything we had at the Gnome Town because the bridge was sketchy.
You did.
I don't remember, but okay, I'll move it. But if you guys want to go get rope, and then don't we have to do the black market stuff, or are we saving that until we have everybody?
I want to save that until we have
Yeah.
everybody.
Okay.
So for now,
yeah,
Obi
rope is a
and
good idea.
Moira are just following the group.
Okay, rope has been removed.
Yeah, I figured basic, like, store probably wouldn't be too bad. Finding
Oh.
simple stuff we need.
Can I give them my vial of haunting to try and sell it?
Oh, Calendula? Auntie Calendula?
Oh, maybe. Do you want to buy this?
Before you leave, you hand her the viol of haunting, and she kind of looks it over and plucks a string, then plucks another string, then gives a very concerned look, and plucks another string, and the look just deepens. She kind of looks up at you and says, "Well, I've heard of viols of haunting, but never one that haunts the user."
Yeah, we got it at a gnome town in a wild magic surge. Everything there was pretty cursed, including a doppelganger.
If I take this off your hands, I'm just going to throw it in the blue lake so nobody else has to deal with it.
I mean, that's okay with me. You use it for kindling.
I could. Wait, you said this was in a wild magic zone that you got
Yes. Is that bad?
it? No, but Marshmallow.
The fairy comes over.
Here, take this to the fairy circle.
And Marshmallow kind of looks at the viol, then looks back at Auntie Calendula, then looks back at the viol.
That's like 3 times my size. It's mostly hollow. It's like a contrabass. In fact, why don't you play it, Marshmallow?
The fairy takes the thing and starts playing it like a contrabass, but it's just dung 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 dung. And like they just give Auntie Calendula just the most unamused look. Why am I taking this to the fairy circle? I would rather just drop it in the blue lake. Just do it. And you see Marshmallow fly off with the viol of haunting over to a little patch of what looks to be not patch, a little pot of what looks to be like you know our fairy garden, that but bigger. Goes into the house and eventually comes back out and comes back over with the viol and says, "All right, try now."
Me?
Mm.
I pick it up and I try to play something.
It is a normal viol now. It has lost its magic, but it is a normal viol.
Thank you. I now have 2 viols.
The fairy nods and says, "When dealing with wild magic, if you go to the Feywild, it's pretty much all wild magic. It kind of gets lost within itself."
That makes sense. It's been a while since I've been to the Feywild.
Kind of gives you
don't really go there anymore.
and kind of shrugs.
Well, if you go there, make sure that you bring a guide, otherwise you'll get lost in time.
I think that's why my people have predominantly stayed in this plane.
I should go see my sister. He goes
Okay,
back
yeah.
into the fairy hut.
Alright. What?
To the House of Knowledge.
Well, do we want to split up? Because I feel like I've been talking a lot.
I mean,
And
you
I can
don't
just go.
normally get the chance to talk a lot, so this is nice.
Well,
Don't feel bad for it.
No, you're perfectly fine. Like I said,
Can and I
I
will.
some basic supplies, just rope and stuff that I knew were burnt out of when we fixed that bridge.
well, is there somewhere we can
so-
stop on the way through?
So I assume that NPC is one that you all like.
Yes.
Cool.
I will die for her.
I pulled her out of my ass.
I love her.
That was not planned.
See, okay, here's my thing. If we could just deviate for just a moment.
Yep.
You need to write a freaking book. Because I would read a book about her. Like, literally at the start of the session, you're like, oh, guys, like, I'm just not in the head for D&D, like, Pokemon RP, blah, blah, blah. Like, I just can't do this. And then you just created, like, the most beautiful, wonderful, amazing, interesting character that is ever did character.
To be fair, the best stuff is usually improv and not planned.
I love her, and I need to read her life story. Please write her book. Okay, thanks, bye.
Okay.
Back to Timon. Is there a shop on the way to the House of Knowledge?
Yeah, funny. You're literally going to be going past the merchant's hall. You can get rope there very, very easily.
Okay.
All right. There is 3 different kinds of rope being sold. Which one do you want? There is hempen rope, silken rope, or hair rope.
Scarlet. Buy rope.
I mean, I had hempen rope before, so we'll just go with that. I don't think there's any rope I want that's made out of hair.
Silk rope's always good.
Believe it or not, hair is actually very good rope
It's
material.
strong.
It's very strong.
But it would be expensive.
It's extremely expensive. That's why I went
funny.
from cheapest to most expensive. Hemp, silk, or hair.
Hemp.
Yeah, easy enough. You can buy hemp rope. It is the price it is in the PHP.
Which is?
Correct, PHP.
Hey, Alexa, how much does hempen rope cost in the Dungeons & Dragons Player's Handbook?
Thanks, you triggered my Alexa.
She knows nothing.
It is 1 gold piece for 50 feet.
So should we get, like, a fair bit? I mean, we went through it in that one thing. Like, how much? Okay, how much is a platinum piece again? 10 gold.
10 gold pieces.
So should we just get 10 gold pieces worth?
I mean, I got a platinum on me, so that works.
Okay.
Alright, you get 10 pieces. Or you get 10 50-foot lengths of hempen rope.
Give
They,
it to a loaf out of
I-
wooden bag.
As you are purchasing it, they ask you if you are sailors.
No, just adventurers. You never know what you may need.
Generally, only sailors buy this much rope, though they tend to go with the silken rope.
We needed to fix a rope bridge. We used all of our rope. We don't
Hmm.
want to be in that position again.
You know what else rope is good for?
But
Rope is good for a lot of things.
yes.
Rope is tying stuff up. It's good for binding stuff. It's good for keeping things together. What you laughing for?
Out of character. It reminds me of the I can't remember what it's in, but your head and your mind and your brain too. Can't remember the exact quote.
You got to think with your head and your mind and your brain too.
I think it's from School of Rock.
The
Anyway,
uses of rope are limitless.
I put 8 sections of that in the bag of holding because I realized I overburdened myself if I carried it all on me.
I said to put it in the bag of holding.
Okay, well, I put 8 sections of it and I have 2 of it with me.
If you're wanting plate armor, it's gonna be heavier than your current armor. Probably gonna have to get rid of some stuff.
Oh, I know, but we need to go back to Phandalin for me to get rid of my damaged chainmail and all that. Which I could probably stuff that also into the bag of holding now that I think about it.
Anyway, is there any? Do you want some silk rope or some hair rope?
How much is the hair rope?
1 second while I pull up the prices of hempen silk rope. So hemp rope is 1 gold for 50 feet. Silk rope is 10 gold for 50 feet. Hair rope will be, we'll say 50 gold for 50 feet.
Now we're good.
You sure?
We need to be keeping our money.
All right.
Just for now. We might keep it in mind for later.
All right. You have a good day now.
You too.
Rope. Got your rope here. Good for tying, good for binding, good for keeping stuff together. Get your rope.
We're all the same thing.
You go to the House of Knowledge.
Unless anybody else has anything else that needs done. This Perky did have a shopping list.
Yes, one of which I thought about all week when I was at work, and then I went to go actually write it down. I'm like blank-minded. I mean, I thought about getting better armor for Ruin, but then I'm thinking about the fact, like, well, if he dies, I can just poof him back out of the ground. I'm not spending money on that, so.
Yeah. Scarlett, do you have anything that you want? While Dad's away, the children will spend their money.
I mean, we could possibly buy the ore and stuff that Obi would need to be able to make the armor, or we could just go mining in that time skip. There's that too.
When you say we go mining, you mean
I mean the dwarf goes mining.
And y'all are just gonna sit in your chairs drinking fucking, I don't know, pina coladas or some shit?
Gross.
Yeah.
Long Island's.
I'll play the I am a dwarf and a digging a hole on my new viol to like encourage you to work.
I mean, I was already doing that when we were inside the dragon. I was trying to make a cavity for you guys to get through.
Diggy hole.
I still love Perky's comments, like it only took an entire year for you to dig a hole.
I mean, listen, you were the miner and the blacksmith, and you did not do any mining in this entire year. Actually, wait, no, you did a brief second of it, but then you found Lennar and you fucked off.
Okay, House of Knowledge then.
All right. As you're approaching the House of Knowledge, you hear music starting to go through the air.
Hmm.
Beautiful music. And, like, you're enjoying it, and it gets just to the crescendo, and then it stops. And then you hear grumbling. And then you hear the music start up again, maybe about, like, halfway through what you had just heard. But it's slightly different.
It's me
It
practicing the piano.
And it gets to the crescendo, and it's just about, and then it stops, and you hear more grumbling. And sitting outside of the ornate temple is what looks to be a very well-dressed bard. He seems to be trying to write a song.
Can I make a suggestion? I have performance, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, the man looks up. You see that he's wearing teal armor with, like, purple accents, gold boots. He's got dark hair and tan skin, and a little bit of stubble on his face, and he looks up at you and sets his lute off to the side and says, "Why, of course. What's your suggestion?"
Play it for me again?
And he starts playing again, and it's a beautiful song. And, like, while there is no words, it's like in your mind's eye, you can, like, picture a walk through a what's the term that I'm looking for? A grassy hillock. And as you reach the tip of the hill, and you're starting to look out on just the beauty of everything around you, and the picture comes into and then it stops. And that focus of what you are going to be able to see at the top of this hill, this beautiful scenery, is just not there. And, like, this is all just music, and, like, you're not entirely sure why you're picturing all this in your head. There's no lyrics, there's nothing, there's just the notes, and the guy kind of just he taps his foot and, like, pulls out what looks to be like a blank scroll, and he starts, like, jotting stuff down on it, and, like, shakes his head and scratches it out and starts doing it again.
What about, and then I pull out my new viol.
Mhm.
And try to play something similar to continuing on from where they did it, where he stopped.
Yeah, make me a performance check. You start to play, and to you, it, like, you're getting into the tune, and
I
then
can hear it in my head.
it's good, and then you have the same issue. You repeat everything that he had just played. It's slightly
What's up?
different, and then you get to the crescendo, and it's not there.
I don't know.
He nods and says, "No, it's escaping me. Oh, sorry. Welcome to the Temple of Ogma.
Thank you.
Sorry, I'm supposed to be the greeter, but, well, the binder, he's given me he's given me the start something, but I don't know what he wants of me with this, and I'm just trying to find it out. And sorry."
Well, that's understandable. It's pretty frustrating. That's why I usually just play stuff that people have already written rather than writing them myself.
Kind of gives you a look of like he understands, but like he knows you could be better.
I'm the bard. I just appreciate good music.
Smiles. Anyway, feel free to make your way inside. Unless there's something. Thank you. You go in, and as you are looking around, it is a beautiful temple. Various what looks to be scholars mingle with brightly colored bards and some you're pretty sure are wizards, but as you realize looking around, a lot of the people working here are either scholars or musicians.
That makes sense.
Like, almost everyone here seems to have an instrument on them of some sort, whether it be a lute across their back or maybe like a flute tucked into their belt. And those that don't have instruments, you would notice that their build looks like they definitely work their lungs to the point where it has stretched their ribs and chest. So they have a lot better breath capacity. You probably pick them out as singers. What do you do as you enter the House of Knowledge?
And this is where the religious people usually come into play. But one of them is not here. Is there somebody who looks like they know, or they're like reception or something? Like a library help desk?
There is none.
Are there people are they all dressed in certain robes, showing that they work there versus they're just visiting?
There is no uniform.
Okay, I was gonna walk up to somebody then.
All right. Roll me a d20.
We changed the dice color. Please be good to me. Yes.
A nat 20.
Where was that for the performance check, bitch?
So you walk up to a woman.
Excuse me? Hi.
She turns. She has similar tan skin and dark hair. This time, her the clothes are somewhat similar to the bard that was outside, but a lot more flowy and a lot less armor-like and more scholarly-like. Still with teals and purples and those gold fancy boots that just peek out from underneath the dress. She looks over and she smiles and says, "How can I help you?"
My friends and I were wanting to find out some information about the area, perhaps any battles with dragons, or as we were entering the town, we saw that hill and noticed that it was once a dragon, and we were curious about the history of how that came to be.
Mm.
And we were told by a good friend of ours that this was the place to go to find that information.
Well, you came to the right place. Welcome to the House of Knowledge, Temple of Ogma, the Binder, patron to all bards, the wise god and lord of all knowledge. So you're looking for information on the Dragon Barrow? Is that correct?
The dragon what?
The Dragon Barrow.
Is that what that is?
That's what it was.
What do you mean? What it was?
What it was.
Yes, we're looking for information on that.
Very well.
You guys are all seeing and all knowing, aren't you?
No. But when a giant undead dragon comes out from around the area, one can put two and two together.
Cool. So we can be frank then.
It wasn't our
Yeah.
fault.
Shut up.
Make me a
Only
deception
people
check.
who are at fault say it wasn't at fault.
Make me a deception check. Nat one. She looks at you, and the smile just doesn't fade, but like you have a feeling that she's not saying anything. She knows you're lying. She's not saying anything though. She just turns back to Chris and says, "So, you're probably looking on what exactly happened."
Yes, and anything that we can learn to help right certain wrongs.
Like anything about the people that were also buried there.
Mm-hmm. Died fighting, the history of the dragon, how it came to be cursed in such a way, and any information that we can get would be a massive help.
Alright, let me roll for them to see what they are able to procure for you.
Roll good.
I wasn't able to see what it was because I accidentally bumped it before I picked it up.
Roll the dragon dice. It could give extra inspiration.
It was a 20, I saw
In
it.
fact, for the Auntie Calendula character, you get DM inspiration. You can
That's
re-roll.
against you,
Huh?
not for you. DM's inspiration uses against you, not for you.
No. You can use it for whatever you want to because it's your inspiration, baby.
She rolled high. Doesn't help the fact that she would have expertise in history. So, she nods and says, "Well, let me lead you over to some of our history tomes. What you are inquiring about would be, well, a Dracolich.
Mm.
Do you know what that is, dear?"
Do I know what that is?
Roll me an Arcana check or a Religion check.
I'm shit at both. Yep, I'm shit at both. But I'm more Arcana than religious, so 4. Nope.
You have no idea.
I'm
I saw
proficient.
one once.
Harry.
Draxus, do you know what a Dracolich is?
Probably the undead dragon that we pissed off, but I will try again anyways. I know a little bit more.
You do know a little bit more. But you don't know exactly. And then the...
Imagining it's an undead dragon.
You
Only
are
based
correct.
by what we saw.
It is an undead dragon. It is a dragon which has bound its soul to a phylactery. It is unable to die unless if
Gesundheit.
that phylactery is destroyed. just like many other liches.
Phylactery?
Phylactery.
Is it like a um my brain is fried. Like, is it a physical thing or more of like a what's the word? Metaphorical thing.
It's a physical thing.
And it can be anything.
It can be anything. She reaches through some various books, looks through the fourth wall at you and says, in the DM's voice, have you ever read Harry Potter?
It's a Horcrux.
It's a Horcrux.
Okay.
Does that phylactery have to be on its person, or can it be anywhere?
It can be anywhere,
Awesome.
including other planes of existence.
Oh, beautiful.
Something is screaming at me that it's in that swamp.
Make Horcruxes.
Is there any way of knowing or figuring out where it's at?
The dragon? Well, it flew south.
It's phylactery, more so.
Oh, no. If you kill it, it respawns at its phylactery. Oh, no, wait, that's only if it's a lich, a proper lich. Dracoliches will reform in the closest dragon, living or dead, so long as it has enough body to
You're
support
speaking
its
too
soul.
fast. No, planet existence.
I'm speaking too fast.
I'm
me to speak
trying to write this down with text because our note taker is not here and is currently, well, and will soon be listening to this back, but I don't want to put all that pressure on him to take the notes.
So if we down this dragon, it literally just jumps into another dragon that's closest.
Correct.
That could have
And then
good
that
or
dragon's
bad.
dragon's body will mutate and shift and change into fitting its newest host.
It will respawn.
Who
in
votes for
the
Dragon
nearest.
Venom thing there just because fuck that guy?
Oh no! Gerald Ray!
Yes. What's wrong?
Is there a Whispers channel? Pull me into a Whispers channel. Make a Whispers channel and pull me into there. Right now.
Hey.
Oh no, he in trouble. Ooh.
Oh, he has one. You gotta pull me into there, dude. We're fucked, by the way.
What?
Why?
Oh yay.
Why is he not pulling me in there? If you're pulling me in there, it's not working.
You want to tell the rest of the class?
I need to confirm something with him first.
What did I miss?
Gerald's game.
Essentially, we learn that the undead dragon, if we kill it, will simply just yeet another dragon's soul out of its body, take over its body, and turn it into it. So we can't kill it unless we find its Horcrux.
We're fucked.
Even if we kill it, it's just kind of like, haha, bitch, you thought I'm Voldemort.
Well, fuck. I'm hungry. I made me some of the dumplings. I got me dumplings. I made some dumplings. I have to go, like, empty out the water. Because apparently how you make them in the microwave is you put them in water and you cook them for 3 minutes. I'm currently stuck and I can't go get them, even though I want to, because I have a Covington at my head and a Loki at my feet, and I'm like, I'm hungry.
Fine, I just remember some of the stuff I wanted to get was like oil and caltrops for making traps and stuff.
Cool.
We're fucked.
No. I'm slightly fucked, but it's fine.
I'm gonna
Everything's fine.
commit character suicide now.
No, I'm in trouble. You
I'm
guys are
gonna go
fine.
murder Triss real quick.
Why
Oh.
are you in trouble?
So I'm going to be changing my ranger subclass.
Gotta go on a
Yes.
full mission for it.
Huh?
I said you gotta go on a full mission for it. You can't
Yeah,
just.
I have to go on a full mission for it. But at the end of the mission, I will be a, what's it called?
Drake Warden.
Drake Warden, which means I get a dragon. A baby dragon, nonetheless, and it levels with my level, but I will have a dragon on my person, and if we kill this Dracolich before we kill its Horcrux, and I have a dragon on my person, that's going to be the nearest dragon to this Dracolich.
Well, I thought she said it had to match its size.
Nope.
No, it warps the body to its size.
Yep.
Got it. So when we go on that fight, your dragon gets to stay home.
Sounds like we need a chronomancer.
Sounds like we need to find its Horcrux.
Because
Is there
where,
a way to find the Horcrux?
because where there is a baby dragon, there must also be a time wizard.
Oh, jeez.
All right, you get negative
Obi.
inspiration for that.
Obi, get yourself some DM inspiration. For just
That means going against us, though, right?
no. He gets
I don't
player-
understand.
a DM inspiration.
I don't understand.
DMs don't actually get inspiration. I was making a joke. There's other systems where it's like the players can be like, "Hey, can I get advantage on this roll?" And then they give the DM a token that allows them to have advantage on a roll against them.
Oh,
So you'd be like,
No,
"Hey,
I
can I
don't
have advantage on
understand,
all my rolls?"
I didn't understand Obi's.
It's a Yu-Gi-Oh
Comment?
reference.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
There's a card called Baby Dragon. There's a card called Time Wizard, and Time Wizard in the show, not actually in the gameplay, had the ability to turn the Baby Dragon into the 1,000-year dragon.
Yes.
Yep.
However, in game
Ooh.
wise, you have to just combine the two monsters using the effect of polymerization.
Is there a way to, like Dorks said, is there a way to find the Horcrux? Phylactery?
She shrugs. Most liches and the type tend to keep that pretty under wraps.
See, this is why I said we needed to go check the hole that it came out of.
Yeah, but why would it have left it there where we were and flown off?
No, I'm thinking
we
it could
can.
be in that tomb that was beside it. Maybe that's how they bound it and captured it, is it was buried with the people that originally killed it, keeping it under
Maybe.
wraps.
Do you have any information on that dragon? Like, it name the people who died fighting it, why it was bound and treated like it was?
Well, the name of the dragon, Chardon Cervitrial.
Spelling for that, please.
Oh, it's spelled Char,
CHAR.
Dan,
Like Dan Schneider.
yes, Dan,
Mm-hmm.
Seer,
CER or SER?
Sear, Seer, like I'm searing
Oh.
something.
Right.
A,
Mm-hmm.
Vitriol,
VITRIOL. Okay.
Well, they're a black dragon. They are immensely powerful.
Mm.
And they don't die. They just slumber occasionally.
All black dragons or trodden vitriol?
Ebon Death is its colloquial name.
Where was that information when I was asking for it? So Ebon Death doesn't die?
Mm-mm.
Is that why? So it was just always going to turn into a Draco Lich?
Eventually. Something must have looked directly at Draxus, awoken it from its slumber.
I didn't do anything.
I also turned my head. You know, in Hasbin Hotel in the Hell's Greatest Dad song, where Alistair turns and says, "You can always call me Dad," with that grin in the face.
Yeah.
That's how I look at Draxus.
I didn't do anything. I don't know what you're talking about. Just stands there, my cloak billowing like mad. Listen, it was a group effort. Okay, we were all down there. We all goofed. Okay, it wasn't just me. I know I poked at it.
What about its child?
Child?
Yes, there was a hatchling that we fought and killed.
Well, that's strange.
Air quotes on killed.
Why is that strange?
They start going through the various scrolls and books.
Why is
shaking
that strange?
From what I recall of the stories, Ebon Death didn't have children.
Because it couldn't have children? Because she couldn't have children?
I mean,
Or because she was a he?
well, she was originally a he, but when you jump from body to body, that kind of no longer
True.
applies. But at the same time, when one is a skeleton, one can't exactly
Shouldn't be able to have children.
Maybe it was a child of whatever dragon it took over.
Perhaps.
Okay, so would the child be able to come back to life and just jump into the nearest dragon body?
She kind of looks at you, shrugs. I doubt it. It would need a phylactery for something like that.
True, and it just hatched. So we're good.
Mm.
It literally hatched and then attacked us, so.
How are these phylacteries made?
Killing somebody and splitting its soul.
It varies from phylactery to phylactery. One thing is in common between all, and that is one must risk eternal death for a chance to slip free from its binds. One must purposely kill themselves in order to make their phylactery.
Ooh, that sounds fun.
Wait, is that what you did?
Beyond-
Scarlet?
Yep.
Beyond that, the magics that speak of such are always shrouded in magic so dark that it warps the flesh to even touch or speak it.
Ooh, even funner.
It is not something that we particularly want to hold on to here, though the binder, he does have such knowledge. He is the Lord of all Norn. Ogma.
Oh, Ogma.
The
That's the
wise
god.
the Lord of all knowledge.
Gotcha.
This
I
is
thought you
his-
said the binder, and I was like, does he make the books?
I mean, that is one of his titles. The binder of what is known, the Lord of knowledge, the patron of all bards, the wise god, the Lord of all knowledge, the god of wisdom, the wise, or the bard.
Ah,
He has many titles.
I see. I'm not super familiar with his work. So the people that died with fighting the dragon, like how long ago was this? How did they bind it?
He goes through the various texts. Which time that Evan Death has died?
Like the most recent, I guess, when it was turned into the hill cave thing.
The dragon's bear.
Since that's the most recent iteration that we know of, anyway. I mean, if we weren't able to kill it, but could bind it again.
I mean, we could just put the giant stake back through its back.
Well, there were 8. 2 groups that came together. Pretty much everything that has been told before that you guys have learned is repeated.
So there were 2 parties, and they sealed it, and
Yeah,
etc., etc.
etc., etc.
Now, when these people were buried, did they have any like special weaponry with them that helped them?
Make me a... Actually, she's gonna do an insight check against you, because that's a very specific question that ties to grave robbing artifacts of great renown.
Yep.
And is kind of a very sus question.
My guy.
Kind of looks at you and cocks an eyebrow and says, if they had such artifacts, it would probably have been either distributed to their families, distributed to their temples, or buried with them, depending on what they would have wished in death.
I mean, I'm just asking because if it was distributed to their temples or their families, and we wouldn't asked if we could use these weapons to help us do what they had already accomplished before, I don't think there'd be a problem with it. Now, if they're buried, I'm not going to go digging them up for it. That's different.
Is Draxus lying or telling the truth here?
It'd be a bit of both. Like, if they were in the temples, then we'd start there, but otherwise, I'd ask the families if it was okay if we could get the weapons, because if we don't deal with it, that's problems for all. And I'm sure whoever had taken it down before would want the same for it to be taken down again.
And the grave robbing part?
I mean, I wouldn't desecrate someone's grave. That's kind of wrong, but I mean, we've done it before. We were literally in that mansion, and we're like, oh, we're just gonna shove this over, and oh, that's mine now, that's mine, that's mine.
Just give me a few minutes to make some shovel.
I need you to make me a deception check,
I was
Drax.
not there when we were desecrating graves, friends.
A 4. Once again, she just kind of looks at you and says nothing. You have a feeling she knows exactly what's on your mind.
I mean, she probably couldn't completely disagree either. The thing can spell complete death for the entire continent.
What I can do to help you is inform you of the dragons that are in the area that could be potentially jumped to should something happen. At least the dragons that we know of.
As in someone who if the Draculich died, who it could go into.
Correct.
Probably handy. We know Venom Fang.
Mm-hmm.
But do you know where he is?
So the priestess, as she's telling you about this, she's pulled out a map of the Sword Coast, at least this area of the Sword Coast. She says, I need to change my earbuds around because I've got a low battery and they need to charge.
What's a battery?
It's something that goes pretty good with assault.
My dude.
What?
To be fair, I was literally about to say the same thing.
I did 2 extra rows of my knitting. Oh man.
So, they point out the following that they know of that have been reported. There is a white dragon nearby Phandalin that resides in the Sword Mountains. There have been sightings recently of a green dragon somewhere
Hang on.
around Neverwinter Wood.
Hang on. Fudge!
Yes.
Okay, hang on a minute. White dragon near where? Sighted where?
Near Phandalin in the Sword Mountains.
In the Sword Mountains. Okay.
A green
Green
dragon
dragon near my fucking family. Green dragon in Neverwinter Woods, or near Neverwinter Woods, or in Neverwinter Woods.
sighted near Neverwinter Woods.
Sighted
Is that a
near.
large dragon?
There was 2 green dragons. One stayed, one left.
So 2 green dragons, but 1 stayed and 1 left. Okay.
A red dragon.
Mhm.
in
Red
Mount
dragon.
Hote
In Mount what?
now.
Can you please spell that?
Hot.
Mhm.
E.
Mhm.
Now.
Now.
So
right
HOT. Yes. HOTENOW.
Okay. Red dragon.
And there have been sightings of a dragon, they do not know what type, in the seas and the areas accosting ships. Just points
Type
to the sea
not-
next to you all.
Type not known. In the nearby seas,
Yes.
accosting ships.
Yep.
Okay. Cool. Love that.
Mm-hmm.
And you don't know, like, if they're adults, young, ancient, any of that,
Well,
just their color?
the
Or where
story,
the other green dragon went?
the green dragon, as far as I am aware, went south towards the Crypt Garden Forest.
Hang on a minute. As far as priestess is aware, went south towards the crypt forest?
Crypt Garden
Crypt
Forest.
garden.
Spelled exactly how it sounds.
Crypt garden forest. So that's probably Venom Fang.
However, that would put it in contention with the white dragon spotted around Ice Spire Hold.
In contention with the white dragon at the white in charge of, did you say?
That has been spotted around Ice Spire Hold.
Is that different from the one near Sword
Same-
Mountain?
Same one. Ice Spire Hold
Okay.
is in Sword Mountains.
Oh, has
Probably
been
the one
sighted
that we saw before and said, "Fuck that."
Yep, that is the exact same one.
at Ice Spire Hold.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Cool. Maybe they just kill each other off.
The one in Mount Hope now is an old one. They don't tend to bother us, but that's probably because we have an agreement with them.
Doesn't tend to bother
You know,
us.
Agreement.
Give
What kind of
tribute.
agreement?
we give tribute. They don't destroy us all. Think of it like taxation, but instead of it being from a feudal lord, it's from a
Taxes.
giant fire-breathing dragon.
So old one is in like an ancient dragon, or is there another step of old, like young, adult, old, ancient? This is Caitlin asking.
I do believe the classification of this one is ancient.
Okay. Ancient. And then the green one that stayed, is that adult? And the one that left was a younger one?
The one that stayed from the stories is a young one.
The one that stayed is a young one.
Yes, about the size of a horse. A little bit bigger.
Oh.
Oh, we got some ass to kick.
So then is Venom Fang considered an adult?
Venom Fang
Or are they
was the
siblings?
young one.
He was a young one, right?
Venom Fang was the younger one.
Yeah.
So then who's the one that was seen leaving?
Probably
My
its dad.
My guess would be a parental figure. Most dragons tend to not want to stay around each other, about claiming territory.
So the one that left was the adult.
Probably back
So
to
then
its
how-
original place.
How did we see Venom Fang then?
What do you mean?
So like we didn't run into Venom Fang near the woods.
It was flying towards its current location when you first met it.
Oh,
Yeah, it was flying with its dad, mom, whatever, and then it came down.
so that's Venom Fang.
Mhm.
Going in the woods. Love that so much for my family.
As for the one at sea,
You don't.
the stories tend to vary. Sailors like embellishing their tales. It changes. One thing is the same, though. It seems to be able to conjure the fury of storms. And
seems to be able to appear out of nowhere.
Nowhere. What about the white dragon? Do you know an age?
We don't tend to try to learn this. It's more of tales from survivors and such. We've only seen that one instance.
Well, I know when it came near us, it seemed larger, so it was probably an adult.
I'll put adult question mark. Do you know where? Well, no, because it was. Well, so it wasn't always a black dragon. It's just in this form a black dragon.
It originally was a black dragon.
Oh. Do you know where it lived? Like where it was its place? Down in the swamp?
The first writings of Chardon.
Sierra Vitrol?
Chardon Vitriol. All actual dragon names are like this. This is why they get the nicknames. However, the dragons prefer being called by their actual names.
Oh. Chardon Vitriol?
Tend to have it. The stories all say the same, that it first was sighted around the Mere of Dead Men.
Okay. Let me add that to the list.
Now, I know different
First
kinds of
sighted.
dragons tend to have different like powers, like the acid, fire, and all that. Would I know which kind tends to be able to control storms and lightning and all that?
Make me an Arcana check. Yes, you would know that this is very odd for you. Like, as you think about it, the ones that tend to be able to conjure storms are brass dragons, a metallic dragon. However, you also know that blue dragons can also conjure storms, but blue dragons are generally found in arid, dry desert regions. So it's either a metallic dragon, which those tend to be nice, those tend to not be accosting people, or it's a very, very lost blue dragon. So one of the two is potential, but both seem extremely unlikely, so you're very confused.
So if it was metallic, it sounds like they did something to make it upset.
What's the Moor called again? The Moor of
The Mere.
The Mere, M-E-M-E-A-R?
M-E-R-E.
M-E-R-E. Of dead people.
Of dead men.
Well, you know.
It's only men. The women were fine.
That's fine. We'll take it. So only brass or blue can make storms, but both are weird.
Women
Both
were
would
first,
be
so
weird.
they evacuated first, of course.
Any other information you could give us?
Yeah, I said bronze for the dragon, right?
Oh, I don't know.
For the metallic version of the dragon.
Bronze, not brass.
Yeah.
Yeah, bronze.
Yeah.
Oops. Listen, I'm not used to taking notes, okay?
You're doing a wonderful job.
Thanks. I didn't take any notes for the stuff that Auntie Calendula was saying, though. So maybe if you could send those later in this channel, that would be great.
It takes you a little bit longer than you thought, and then you realize, Draxus, there is one other kind of dragon that it could possibly be.
And that is?
They're sometimes called living islands.
What is a living island?
It's an island that's alive.
We talk about like the turtles in Avatar?
Kaylin, is everything okay?
Yeah.
Do you want to share with the class?
I think I know what they are.
Well, what is it?
It's I don't know because I don't want it to be wrong.
Well, share it anyway.
Well, it's like in Chultz with the turtle dragon. It was a living island, right?
Yep. You're both correct. A dragon turtle.
Yeah.
Those things are normally nice, aren't they?
No.
No, they're cranky.
Okay, so opposite of the Avatar version.
They're big cranky pants.
I'll put it like this. Perky.
Snapping turtle.
I was about to say, you own a snapping turtle. You know what they're like. Now imagine that if it was the size of a ship.
Yes, they're one or two things. You can either scratch its shell and everything's fine, or you look at it wrong and it tries to eat your face.
No, you're looking at it wrong the entire time. There's no scratching its shell and it's like, ooh, nice. They're cranky and contemptuous and there's no pleasing it.
That's why we always say he has anger issues.
There's a big crank bum turtle.
So that is probably the most likely. Now that you
Can they
think
make
about it.
storms though?
They can make storms.
I didn't do much with the dragon turtle in Schultz. You guys managed to avoid it.
How do you please a dragon? You just avoid it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and if it is a dragon turtle, I don't think we're gonna fight that thing with its size in the water.
They can be full. They're just a pain to fight. Any other information you can give us, or any books that we could find and purchase to read up on it, or
Well, in
do
terms
you
of
have a printer that you could photocopy some pages of your books for us?
I don't know what that is.
Neither do I. I just invented it.
Well, it was very
We have-
sharp of you.
We have a ginkgo who can do perfect copies. Could you let him read and take some notes out of your books?
You look to try to find where Ginkgo is, and they're just gone.
Ah, ginkgo.
Both are too. You realize you haven't seen them in a while.
Well, when we bring them back, could you let our ginkgo loose in your books to like copy some information?
I mean, most of what we have is oral,
Well,
and she actually grabs one of the scrolls and goes to hand it to you so you can like open it up and see.
okay. I open it up.
It's literally just music notes. It's a gigantic thing of just music, sheet music.
My music theory was never very good. It was more by ear. I think that's a doe.
You know, speaking of Lothar, I just realized we literally went to a mage, had him identify that sword. Why didn't we have him identify that inkwell that he has?
Do you need something identified?
I mean, I do, but it's not on me. One of our other party members has it.
Congratulations, it's magically on you if you'd like it to be.
Oh yeah,
Yes.
sure. Because I'm very curious. I completely forgot about that inkwell for the longest time.
Spellcasting services for identifying, I say as I grab the ledger here to give you an amount, is 100 gold pieces.
So that's 10 platinum?
That would be 10 platinum, yes, ma'am.
Dress is fine.
Of course, ma'am.
Oh my gosh, there's 2 babies. Gryffindor is very blissed out. He looks dead. Yeah. I mean, sure.
You hand over the money, and she seems to procure an owl's feather and a pearl out of nowhere. And she waves the two over the paper.
Wait, how much did we spend on the rope? It was 1 platinum piece?
Oh, I paid for it out of the platinum piece I got from the ring I had.
Okay, so we're doing 10 platinum pieces.
Sorry.
To identify Inkwell.
Sorry, I didn't mean to say paper. I don't know. Waves it over top of the inkwell and kind of like looks distant for a moment, and then begins singing. It's just a short, simple song. And though there is no words, it is just musical notes. What?
For a minute, I was just picturing her just singing any songs, like, to the windows, to the walls, to the walls. I'm sorry.
Her song's a lot more... As she opens her mouth and begins singing, it's a lot more mysterious, obscuring, and though she doesn't say any words, you get the feeling that you know what the magic item does now. If you uncork this ink vial and you throw it, it will release plumes of pure shadow stuff, ripped straight from the ripped straight from the Shadowfell.
Shadow plane.
To obscure and obfuscate an area. And it will continue leaking this dark shadow until recorked. Out of character. Imagine a smoke grenade, but it spits out darkness instead of smoke. And it just continues going until you stop it. That's what you got.
I assume it can be used more than once, right?
What was that?
It can be used more than once?
I do believe so. I'd have to double check the magic item that I'm basing it off of. I'm pretty sure it's a...
It leaks shadows from the Shadowfell?
Shadowfell.
Straight from the Shadow... F-E-L-L?
Yes.
And we'll keep doing so until recorked. Basically a shadow smoke bomb.
Yep. So one of the fun things you can do with hags is just reflavor existing magic items. That's what this is. It's just a reflavor of an existing magic item.
Is it reusable?
I'm looking it up.
I'm trying to find it. There it is. Ba-ba-ba-ba. It is reusable.
Like, how many times or just yes?
Yes.
Well,
I would say from the description, it would make sense that it was reusable until you just so happen to not pick it back up again.
sick.
Sweet. That actually seems like that would come in really handy.
Yeah.
I will make a write up for it, since honestly
Yeah.
I wasn't expecting you to identify it this late. I thought you guys would have forgotten about it.
I honestly
Oh,
thought I did something
speaking
much
of write-ups-
worse. That's why I hadn't touched it.
Speaking of write-ups, what about Scarlett's whip sword?
It's already made. It's just she needs to go grab it.
Yeah, we gotta go
Oh,
back to
from the
Gnome Town.
dwarf people?
Yeah.
Ooh.
Anyway,
I figured that'd be our next stop when we make our way back down to Phandalin to go over there and get it.
it is very close to stopping time, and this is a pretty good time to stop anyway.
Mhm.
So this is where we will stop.
Can you pop that information that Auntie Calendula gave us about the dragon in the notes and loot section? Since I wasn't writing it down then.
For shame. Nothing
You know
happened.
what?
You don't remember anything. Yeah, I can do that.
Try not to give Lothar homework.
Actually, Lothar can do that. This is his punishment for not getting to the game.
Here's how my brain works, right? So I just tried to be like, I'm trying not to give, and my brain went, Brian, Brock, Lothar, Brock, Lothar, Lothar. Just like all three names just were like, here are the names. And I was like, what am I calling this person who normally take the normal note taker? I'm trying not to give the normal note taker homework. Because
Normal
I'm
note
nice.
taker, more homework. Because I'm mean.
Sorry.
Anyway,
Apologies, Brian. I
that's
tried.
where we're gonna leave it. Hope you all had a fun information overload time.
Yeah.
I'm glad you liked the NPC that I spawned out of nowhere.
Her. Like I said, I need her life story, like from like multi-series, multi-book series of like just her entire life. If you don't write it, I will.
I'm glad you like her.
I was getting such
will make more
vibes
stuff for her.
of the spider guy from Spirited Away.
That's a good.
Because of the arms.
Anyway,
I love her.
I'm gonna go now.
Yeah,
See-
I'm hungry. I want popcorn. Bye.
Bye.